So in this video we are going to discuss about the improper resource utilization and maintenance. So this degradation of natural resources can be caused by the action of pollutants and improper utilization of resources. So not only because of pollutants the natural resources get degraded, but also by the improper utilization of the resources. The first is soil erosion and desertification. So in which the fertile topsoil, so there is a topsoil in the area which is so fertile, and this fertile topsoil the development of this, that is the proper formation of this fertile topsoil, takes centuries, but this is removed easily by the human activities, that is human activities such as over cultivation, unrestricted grazing, deforestation and poor irrigation. So these effects caused by the human activities results in the arid patches of lands. So when this patches, that is when this large barren patches extend, it creates out the desert. So when there is no trees, no plants, then the land becomes completely covered with soil, so it leads to desert. So automatically it leads to desertification. So nowadays desertification is a major problem due to increased urbanization. So this is what soil erosion and desertification is. So the soil erosion, in which the fertile topsoil development takes centuries, but it's removed easily by the human activities. So when this patches removed by the human activities enlarge or extend, then the desert is created. So this desert creation leads to desertification, which is now a major cause or a major problem for the environment, that is which is mainly caused due to urbanization. So now it is water logging and soil salinity. So here this water logging is caused mainly when the irrigation, when the drainage, so when the proper drainage of water. So when there is no irrigation of proper drainage of water in the soil, then it causes water logging. So this water logging actually affects the growth of the plants. So it increases the soil, and the salt is then deposited as a thin crust. So thin layer, the top of the soil, surface of the soil, the salt is deposited. So because of this, the complete affects the growth of the plant. So soil salinity along with water logging is now considered as some of the problems which is considered as the wake of the green revolution. So the next topic is deforestation. So here deforestation is nothing but conversion of forested areas to non-forested areas. So forested areas, in sense it has a large number of trees, plants, different varieties of animals, but when we convert it into non-forested areas, there is no trees, we are cutting down all the trees for human purpose and for some other domesticated purpose. So to an estimate alone, we have lost about 40% of forest. In the tropics, when compared to temperate, it is only 1%. So in tropics we have lost about 40%, whereas in temperates we have lost about 1%. So the present scenario of this deforestation, so is grim in India. So the deforestation has come to its highest peak of level in India. So it is going to cause a very tremendous change or cause in the diversity of an organism or the environmental, it gives us the worst environmental issues. When we take the 20th century, in the beginning we had 30% of forest. But by the end of the century, it was only 19.4. So it shrunk to 19.4%. So almost 30% of the land of India was covered by forest in the beginning of the 20th century. But by the end, it has come to 19.4. But whereas the National Forest Policy of India, that is in 1988, they have told that 38% of forests are covers for the plains, whereas 67% for the hills. So here, how does deforestation occur? So for what are the ways that deforestation occurs and how deforestation occurs, and for what deforestation occurs? So deforestation occurs in turn for the need of agricultural land. So if one needs to land to cultivate, then he goes out, searches a new area and cut down all the trees in the particular area and he converts it into an agricultural land. So here trees are also cut down for timber, firewood, cattle ranching and several other purposes, so that the number of trees in the forest are completely destroyed. Then slash and burn agriculture was a type of agriculture which we commonly call it as jump cultivation, which is most common in the northeastern states of India. So this jump cultivation is something that we'll learn it in deep. So this is actually seen in the northeastern states of India. So slash and burn cultivation is nothing but where the plants are completely cut down. So the trees are completely cut down and they burn the plant remains of the particular area. So they cut down all the trees and they burn out the remaining areas. So they burn the remaining plant areas. So when we burn the plant remains, we get some ashes and they use those ashes as fertilizers. So they use the burnt land for farming or cattle grazing. So after cultivation or after a particular period of cultivation, the area is left to allow its recovery. So but in earlier stages, the population, that is this jump cultivation, was okay because the population was very less in number and there was enough time gap so that the land recovered from the effect of cultivation. But when the population gets increased, the time gap becomes reduced, so that it leads to repeated cultivation. So there was a quick change, there was a quick destruction of trees and quick burn. So this cultivation, that is this slash and burn cultivation, was too quick that there was no enough time gap for the recovery of the land from the effect of its cultivation. So when this cultivation starts, the recovery phase has been completely eradicated. So this resulted in the deforestation. So this we know that carbon dioxide concentration. So because of this deforestation, another cause is it increases the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, because the trees which could hold a lot of carbon are completely lost in this deforestation, because they are thick and they are completely lost, and due to this there is a complete eradication, that is there is an increase in the carbon content in the atmosphere. So here the deforestation causes the loss of biodiversity because of habitat destruction. So if one need for a when habitat particular area of forest is destroyed, the habitat of the particular area is also destroyed. So there is a loss of biodiversity. So there is also a difference in the hydrologic cycle. So it disturbs the hydrologic cycle. Desertification, that is the formation of desert, and soil erosion takes place. So to prevent these, reforestation, that is, it is a process in which the forest is restored. So restored is nothing but to a particular point of time, the forest would have existed in that place, but it would have been exploited by the human. But it actually naturally gets into further processes and it becomes the forest area. But this process of reforestation can be speeded up by human beings when we plant more trees. So we can study about the biodiversity of the particular there is a previous biodiversity of the particular area. So we can plant according to that, and so that it may accelerate the recovery of the forest. So the next topic is the case study of people's participation in conservation of forest. So the main thing when we take the conservation of forest, we get into Amrita Devi. So she is a woman of Bishnoi committee. So what is the concept and why she is called the most popular one? So here the long people even not in present days but in histories, there was a large participation of the people in saving the forest from deforestation. So in 1931 it is said that the king of Jodhpur in Rajasthan wanted to construct a palace, so he has instructed his ministers to get some woods and for his construction. So the ministers and the workers ordered by the king went to the forest nearby. So the the people in those forests were called as Bishnois community. So this Bishnois community speciality is they were completely known for its peaceful coexistence with nature. That is, they were very close to the nature. They wanted to save the nature and they showed their complete love towards nature. So when this ministers and co-workers were about to cut the tree, they were thwarted by the Bishnois. So they were completely stopped, or they were warned by the Bishnois. But there are more than this, Bishnoi, that is, here comes the main person, Amrita Devi. So she is a woman of Bishnoi community. She actually showed a very great courage, that is exemplary courage, by hugging the tree and daring the king's men that if you need to cut the tree, he has to cut her. Then, so she, for her, the tree mattered more than her own life. But the king's men did not hear to her words or heed to her plea, but he cut down Amrita Devi along with the tree. So this was followed. So this horrible scene was followed by her three daughters, that is Amrita Devi's three daughters, and hundreds of Bishnois followed them, and in saving their trees they lost their lives too. So because of this, the government of India has passed out an act, that is Amrita Devi has given out an award, that is Amrita Devi Bishnoi Wildlife Protection Award. So this award is actually given for individuals or communities who show extraordinary courage and dedication or love towards the protection of wildlife. So if one shows the extraordinary courage and dedication in protecting the wildlife, they are awarded with the award Amrita Devi Bishnoi Wildlife Protection Award. So same lies the Chipko movement. So here also in of Garhwal Himalayas. So Chipko movement of Garhwal Himalayas, here it is mentioned that in 1974 the local movement showed the brave courage, that is they were protecting the trees from the acts of contractors by hugging them. So same method was used here as Amrita Devi has used it, and here also the people all over the world have acclaimed the Chipko movement. So the Chipko movement was acclaimed all over the world. So in 1980s, so finally there was the formation of Joint Forest for Management, that is JFM. So this is a management in which the workers can work closely along with the local communities, those who live in the forest, in protecting and managing the forest. So these communities were also given with or also gets benefited by the forest products like fruits, gums, rubber, medicines, and some other products that we can get out from the forest. So by this joint forest management, one can make the forest better, and it can be conserved in a sustainable manner. Thank you.